Welcome back to Built from Fire, the place where we talk about the moments that nearly broke us and the strength we built because of them. I'm Sam Piquet, and if you're here tonight, it probably means you've been through something that changed you. Maybe you're rebuilding, maybe you're healing, maybe you're quietly becoming someone stronger than the person you used to be. Whatever stage you're in, I'm really glad you're here. Because around here, we believe something important. Some people are born comfortable, but the strongest people are built from fire. Let's talk about it. There's a season in life that almost nobody prepares you for. It's the season where everything starts changing, but nothing feels clear yet. You start thinking differently. The things that used to make sense suddenly don't. The people who used to feel like your circle start to feel like strangers, and you can't quite explain why. This is what I call the lonely season of becoming. It's not the moment when your life falls apart. It's the moment when you start outgrowing the life you used to live. And that's a strange place to be. Because when you start growing, you don't always feel stronger right away. Sometimes you feel lonely. Nobody tells you that growth changes your relationships. When you start healing, when you start setting boundaries, when you stop accepting things that once felt normal. Some people get uncomfortable, not because you're doing something wrong, but because your growth highlights their comfort with staying the same. Suddenly the conversation's changed. The energy feels different. The support you thought you had starts to feel conditional. And you start wondering something painful. Was this connection real? Or was it only comfortable when I stayed small? That question hurts. But it's also one of the most powerful turning points in a person's life. Because that moment forces you to choose something important. Comfort or growth. Here's the truth most people don't talk about. The version of you that people are used to is the version they expect to stay. When you change, you break the story they had about you. And not everyone knows how to adjust. Some people try to pull you back. Some people dismiss your growth. Some people distance themselves completely. And in that moment, it can feel like you're losing everything. But what's really happening is something different. You're not losing people. You're making space for the people who belong in the life you're building now. Growth clears rooms. It rearranges your world. And sometimes it feels like everything is falling apart, when really, everything is making room for the next chapter. The hardest part of transformation is the middle. Not the beginning, not the breakthrough, the middle. That quiet stretch where you're doing the work, but the results haven't fully shown up yet. You're healing. You're changing. You're learning new habits. You're thinking differently. But the outside world hasn't caught up yet. And the space can feel incredibly lonely. Because you're not who you used to be. But you're not fully the new version of yourself yet either. You're standing between two identities. And that place is where most people give up. But if you stay there long enough, that space becomes the forge that reshapes your life. Sometimes the strongest people in the world weren't supported the way they needed to be. They had to become their own encouragement, their own protector, their own motivation. And if that's you, I want you to hear something important tonight, Wild Hearts. Just because you had to become strong alone does not mean you were meant to stay alone. Sometimes the strongest people are just the ones who were forced to grow early. But growth like that creates something rare. It creates empathy. It creates depth. It creates wisdom. And those things attract the right people. And eventually they will come. People who understand strength. People who respect boundaries. People who value the person you fought to become. Fire has two effects. It can destroy things but it can also refine them. When metal is forged, it has to go through intense heat. That heat reshapes it, strengthens it, transforms it into something more durable. People are no different. The hardest seasons of your life, the grief, the heartbreak, the loneliness, the rebuilding, those moments may have felt like destruction to you, but sometimes they were actually refinement. You weren't breaking, you were being reshaped. There are people walking around every day carrying strength that nobody sees. They show up, they keep going, they build their lives quietly. They do the hard emotional work most people avoid. They rebuild their confidence. They rebuild their boundaries. They rebuild their whole identity. And they do it without applause. If that's you, I want you to know something. That quiet strength, it's powerful. And eventually, the life you build with that strength will feel more authentic than anything you had before, because it was built intentionally, not by accident. If you're in that lonely season right now, the season where you're changing, healing, growing, and figuring things out, please remember this. You are not falling behind. You are not broken. You are not losing everything. You are becoming someone new. And becoming someone new is rarely comfortable. But the people who go through fire, the people who face the hard seasons, the people who rebuild their lives piece by piece, those people walk out stronger than they ever imagined. Because the truth is, some people are shaped by comfort, but the strongest people, they are built from fire. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Sam K, and this has been Built from Fire. I'll see you in the next episode.